explain the concepts and the techniques to solve the number system problem quickly. The first one I am taking is 1607 to 1607. Before start doing any problem in the number system, we need to follow certain steps to solve the problem quickly. I will list out the steps. The first one, what we need to do is we need to concentrate on the unit digit of resultant. Okay, with that we can rule out few options. If you are left with some more options, we can go to the second step. What is the second step? We need to calculate the possible number of digits in the resultant. Okay, with that we can rule out some more options. If you are left with few more, then we can go ahead with the third option. What is the third one? We need to round it off to the nearest zeros. Round it off to the nearest zeros. Okay, with these three steps we can rule out almost all the options and we can solve the problem very quickly. Okay, let me do this problem. What would be the unit digit in the multiplication? 7 and 7, right? 7 sevens are 49. That means the unit digit in the resultant is 49. If we have only option with the unit digit 9, that is the answer. If we have multiple options, we need to go to the second step. What is the second step? We need to calculate the possible number of digits in the resultant. What we are doing actually here, we are multiplying two 4-digit number. What would be the resultant? We will get either 7 digit or 8 digit. Let me take example how we have got this one. What is the smallest 4-digit number? 1000, right? What would be the result? 6 zeros and 1, that is 7 digit. What would be the largest 4-digit number? 9999. What is the square of that one? We will get 8-digit number we will get. So if you multiply two 4-digit numbers, we will get either 7-digit or 8-digit. With that option, we can rule out few options in the problem. If you are left with few more, then what would be the third one? We need to round it off to the nearest zeros. How we can round it off 1607 to the nearest zeros? 1600. 1600 plus 7. 1607 can be written as 1600 plus 7, right? And 1600 plus 7. What we will get? 1600 plus 7 whole square. This is in the form of a plus b whole square. We know the formula for a plus b whole square, right? A square plus b square plus 2ab. How we got this one? Let's solve this one. A plus b into a plus b. If we multiply these two, what we will get? I am doing with a square plus ab plus ba plus b square. What we will get? A square plus 2ab plus b square. This is the one, right? What is the a here? A is 1600. 1600 whole square plus b. B is 7 square plus 2 into a into b. What we will get? 1600 whole square means 16 squares are 256 and 2 zeros, right? 4 zeros and then 49. And here what we will get? 1600s are 3200. 3200 into 7. 0, 0, 14 and the 22. If we sum, what we will get? 9, 4, 4, 2, 8, 5, 2. What is the answer here? 25, 82, 449. This is the answer. If you go with the traditional approach, what we have to do? We need to take 1607 and 1607 and we need to multiply 9 and then 0 and then 6, 6 7 42 and then 1 like that, and we need to sum all these four summations. It will take more time to solve that one, right? So what we need to do is we have to round it off to the nearest zeros. It is in the form of a plus b whole square. So we did that a square plus b square plus 2ab and this is the answer. Like that, if you follow these three steps, you can solve any number system problem quickly. Let me take one more example. What we were asked to solve 6793 into 9999. What is the first step we need to do? We need to find out the unit digit. 3 9s are 27. That means the unit digit is 7. If we have only options with the unit digit 7, that is the answer. If we have multiple options, what is the second step? We need to round it off the value to the nearest zeros. 9999 can be rounded off to 10,000. That means 6793 into 10,000 minus 1. We can write 9999 in terms of 10,000 minus 1, right? Now we have simplified it. it is easier to find out the multiplication now. The multiplication is 6793 and 4 zeros we need to have minus 6793. We need to subtract this with this. 7 and the 0 and the 9 minus 7 2, 9 minus 6 3 and the 2 9 7 6. This is the final answer. If we go with the traditional approach, it will take more time, right? What we have done here, first of all, we have calculated the unit digit, that is 7. If I have only one option, that is the answer. If you have multiple options, then what we need to do, we have to round it off to the nearest zeros. Double n can be rounded off to the 10,000 minus 1. We have multiplied and subtracted. This is the answer. I hope you understood it. I have taken one more example. Find the sum of smallest number and the largest number formed from the digits 2, 8, 6, 1, 4, 5, 9. Okay, what we need to find out? We need to calculate the smallest number and the largest number, and we need to add those two numbers. We need to find out the sum of those two numbers. How we can find out? The first step, what I have told you, we need to find the unit digit. What would be the unit digit in the highest number? Let me take this as the largest number, this as the smallest number. In case of largest number, what is the largest digit in this set of numbers? 9 is the largest digit. What is the smallest digit in the digits? 1 is the smallest. So this would be the largest number possible. In case of smallest one, it starts with the 1 and it ends with the 9. You are all getting my point, right? What we need to find out? First of all, we need to find out the largest possible number formed from these digits and the smallest possible number formed with this digit. Okay, do we need to find out the sum here? No. The first step, what we need to do? We need to find out the unit digit. What would be the unit digit? 9 plus 1, 0. Among these options, what we can rule out? This is not possible because the unit digit is 3 here. We are left with 3 options. Okay? Then what we need to do? Do we need to calculate the sum here? Still no. Because what is the possible, the second step, what is the possible number of digits in the outcome? This is 7-digit number, this is 7-digit number. In the resultant, what we will get? 9 plus 1. That means we are getting one more digit. Right? That means the resultant should be having the 8 numbers. Among these numbers, what is the 8-digit number? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 7. This is the 7-digit number. We can rule out this option. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 0. This is 8-digit number. Coming to this, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. This is also 7-digit number. We can rule out this one. What we are left with? This is the only possible outcome here. How much time it has taken to solve this problem? Within few seconds, right? Let me recap it. We were asked to find out the sum of smallest number and the largest number formed from the digits 2, 8, 6, 1, 4, 5, 9. The first step in order to solve any number system problem is we need to find out the unit digit. The possible largest number, it will start with the 9, end with the 1, because the largest digit here is 9, smallest digit here is 1. In case of smallest number, it will start with 1, it will end with 9. So what would be the unit digit? 9 plus 1, 0. We rule out this option. Then what is the second thing we need to do? We need to find out the possible number of digits in the resultant. Possible number of digits here, this is a 7-digit number, this is a 7-digit number. The outcome is 9 plus 1 here, so we are getting one more extra digit in the resultant. So the resultant would be having the 8-digit. Among these options, what is the 8-digit number? B option. Option B is the only 8-digit number. I hope you understood the problem. Let me take one more example. Okay, let me take this example. 8796 into 223 plus 8796 into 77. In the traditional way, what we will do, basically we will multiply these two numbers and then we'll multiply these two numbers and we'll add these two numbers. We know the BODMAS rule, right? We'll first do the multiplication, then the addition. But here, what would be the easiest way to do? We can figure out here, right? Among these two multiplications, 8796 is the common number in these two. So what we can do, we can take the 8796 common from these two multiplications. Then what we will left with 223 plus 77. What is the summation? 223 plus 77, 0, and then 0, and then 3. 8796 into 300. What we will get? 00, 23, 26, 3, 888800. Right? How much time it has taken? Very less time, right? First of all, we need to understand the problem, and then we need to figure out what is the easiest way to solve the problem. Among these two multiplications, there is a common term 8796. Have taken it as a common, and then the remaining terms we need to add the remaining terms. What we have got 300, and then we multiplied it. This is the solution for the problem. Let me take one more example. Okay, let me solve this problem. Find the largest 4-digit number that can be divisible by 21 and 35. We were given with the 4 options. How can we solve this? In the traditional way, what we need to do, in order to get it divisible by 21 and 35, it should be divisible by the LCM of these two numbers. That means we need to find out the LCM of these two numbers. That is the first way. The second way, we can rule it out the options one after the other. What are the factors of 21 and 35? The factors of 21 are 3 and 7. In case of 35, 5 and 7. In order to get it divisible by 21 and 35, it should be divisible by 3, 7 as well as 5. Right? We have already discussed the divisibility rules of 3, 5 and 7. Let's rule out the options. First of all, let me take this one, 8815. In case of 3, what is the divisibility rule? The sum of the digits in the number should be divisible by 3. 8 plus 8 plus 1 plus 5. 16, 17 and 22. 22, is it divisible by 3? No. So, it is not divisible by 21 and 35. We have ruled it out. The second option, 9600. 9 plus 6 plus 0. It is 15. Is it divisible by 3? Yes. It is divisible by 3. The second one, 5. 5, the last digit is 0, right? Then it is divisible by 5. So, 3 is done, 5 is done. We are left with 7. 9600. Is it divisible by 7? 7 ones are 7 and 26. 26 is not divisible by 7. So, we can rule it out this option as well. The third option. What is the unit digit of the number 2? 2 is not divisible by 5. So, we can rule it out this option as well. Then, we are left with only this option. This is the answer. We can check the answer. The 9, 9, 7 and 5. 18, 25 and 5, 30. It is divisible by 3 as well as 5. So, the resultant would be 9975. What is the traditional way to find out? We need to find out the LCM. 3 7s are, and then 35, and then 5, 7, and then the 7. 3 into 5 into 7, we are left with 711. That is 15 7s are 105. In order to get it divisible by 25 and 35, it should be divisible by 105. How we can find out 105? Let's take this one. 105. All the numbers are 4-digit numbers, right? So, if I take 100, what it would be the answer? It will give the 5-digit number. So, it should be less than the 100, right? That means, let's take one after the other. 105. What we can do basically 99, 98, 97, like that we can try it out in a traditional way. First of all, we need to find out the LCM, then we can find out the nearest number. Is that traditional way? In the fast mathematics, what we can do? We can rule out the options by using the divisibility rules of 3, 7 and 5. Okay, let's solve this problem. If x is a prime number, then which of the following may also be a prime? In this question, what are the statements we have? X is a prime number, that is one statement. And what we were asked to solve among these options, what might be the prime number? We know the definition of prime number, right? If a number has only two factors, that is 1 and itself, then we call it as a prime number. Let's rule out one after the other options. Coming to the first option, 2x. For the 2x, what would be the possible factors? 1 as well as 2 as well as x and the 2x, right? So this 2x has more than 2 factors. We can eliminate this option. Similarly, coming to the 3x, this also has more than 2 factors. 1, 3, 3x and x. So we can eliminate this as well. Then what we were left with? We are left with these 3 options. X minus 7, x minus 2 and x square. Coming to the x square, it has 1x and x square factors. So we can rule out this as well. We are left with only 2 options, x minus 7 and x minus 2. We know one fact, right? The only even prime number is 2. So let's consider x as 2. 2 minus 2 is 0, 2 minus 7 is minus 5. That is not the prime number. So x is not an even number. So what we got, the conclusion, x is odd number. If x is odd number, what would be the x minus 7? X minus 7 would be the odd minus odd number that will result to the even number. Coming to the x minus 2, if x is odd minus even, it will result to the odd. We know 2 is the only possible even prime number. Let's assume x as 9. 9 minus 7, 2. But 9 is not the prime number, right? So we can rule out x minus 7 option. So we are left with only x minus 2 that will result to the odd all the prime numbers except if 2 are odd numbers, right? So the only possible solution for this problem is x minus 2. I hope you understood the problem. What we have done here, we have ruled out one after the one option depending upon the definition of prime number. Coming to the 2x, there are multiple factors other than 1 and 2x, 2 and x also there. So we ruled it out. Similarly, 3x also has more options, 3x and x and 3. Similarly, for x square also we have more than 2 factors. We left with only these 2 options and we have a conclusion that x is an odd number. If x is odd number, odd minus even is odd number. So this is the only possible solution for this problem. Let me solve a similar problem. If x is a prime number such that x square plus 7 is also a prime number, then what is the value of x? We were given with 2 statements, right? The first statement is x is a prime number. The second statement is x square plus 7 is also a prime number. And we were asked to solve the value of x. We know 2 facts. One of the fact is the only even prime number is 2. This is one fact. The second one is if we add odd number plus odd, what it will give? It will resultant with the even number. If we add even with odd, we will be the resultant would be the odd. Apart from 2, all the prime numbers are odd numbers, right? If we take x square plus 7, let's assume x as the odd number. What we will get? X square plus 7, we will get the even number. Let me take one example. 3 square plus 7, 9 plus 7, it will resultant with the 6. 5 square plus 7, 2, 25 plus 7, 32. Similarly, if we square any odd number and sum it with 7, what we will get? We will get the even number. We already know all the prime numbers except 2 are the odd numbers. So we can rule out x is not an odd number, and the only possible option is 2. X should be the even number. The only even prime number is 2. 2 square plus 7. What is the value? 4 plus 7, 11. 11 is the prime number. Right? I hope you understood the problem. We were given with 2 statements. X is a prime number and x square plus 7 is also a prime number, and we were asked to solve the value of x. We know the 2 facts. The only possible even prime number is 2. The second thing is, if we sum 2 odd numbers, it will resultant with the even. If we sum even plus odd, it will resultant with the odd. Right? In case of x square plus 7, let's assume x as a odd number. If we sum square of odd number with the odd number, it will resultant the even number. So we can rule out x is not an odd number. What we are left with? We are left with only one option. X is even number. The only even prime number is 2. So what is the value of x? The value of x is 2. Right? I hope you have enjoyed the class. Let me revise the topic so far we covered in this session. We have started with the various number series, and then we discussed the arithmetic and geometric progressions and the divisibility rules, and then we have solved multiple examples. I hope you have enjoyed this session. At the end of every session, we thought of giving few questions as an assignment. Until we meet again in the next class, try to solve these questions. I will discuss the solutions in the next class. Let me list out the problems. Okay, the first one is 575 into 575 plus 175 into 175. You need to simplify that one. The second one is find the smallest 6-digit number which is exactly divisible by 111. You need to find that number. And I am taking the third one. The third one is a certain 2-digit number is 5 times the sum of its digits. A certain 2-digit number is 5 times the sum of its digits. If 9 is added to it, the digits are reversed. What is that number? We need to find out that number. The fourth one is how many numbers are there up to 1000 which are exactly divisible by 6 and 8 together. We need to find out how many numbers are there. And the last one is a number when it is divided by 5 leaves a remainder 2. A number when it is divided by 5 leaves a remainder 2. What is the remainder when we square the same number and divide it by 5? We need to find out. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Let's meet in the next class with one more interesting topic.